Hope this email finds you well. Overworked and Underplayed is a not safe for work Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast about a group of young professionals from the real world who find themselves transported to a strangely familiar place full of fantasy and magic. See attached for episode description and content warnings. Thanks for listening. In the criminal justice system, intellectual property-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In Lavron, dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Department of Intelligence Conservation. These are their stories. Dun-dum.
Hi, Miss Jacobs. I'm Special Agent Orange. I'm here trying to figure out what events transpired in the city earlier. I'm going to need some information from you.
Hi, Agent Orange. My name is Taylor Jacobs. I'm so sorry that I'm in this state. Bentley used to be my work friend, and we're not anymore. And so I'll do my best, sir.
Yeah, we have you placed at the scene as the getaway driver. Can you tell us more about what happened?
I didn't drive any vehicle of any sort, cart or otherwise.
Oh, so according to eyewitness reports, when the gnome tried to escape, he used you as the getaway vehicle. Can you tell me your intentions there?
Does that count? Okay. So he was trying to investigate it was an information gathering operation that he was trying to complete.
Can you tell me why you decided to help the accused?
Yes, he's my work friend.
And
Crystal's my client, so. Who's this other person here in the...
Hi, I'm Special Agent Purple, and I'm here to help you. I'm on your side.
You're so nice.
You have a chance right now, if you work with us, to lower your charges. But we do have you on these counts, as my partner, Special Agent Orange, has informed you. We need you to give us a clear story. Are you telling us that you did?
We would never do that.
You're saying we. But I'm not necessarily saying that you did it. It's not your fault. You were just there. But did someone in your party?
No, I don't think any of our people would do that. You know, I only work with the best, brightest people at Marketing Solutions Plus, and they wouldn't.
Miss Taylor, are you saying you worked with them?
Yes. Jimothy is one of my best work friends. Also, Bentley was, but not anymore.
You do realize that by placing yourself there with him, that places you just as guilty as the accused.
Well, I guess I'm guilty then.
Welcome, listeners. I am your DM, or District Manager, Alex Capps, and this is Overworked and Underplayed, a D&D podcast for young professionals by young professionals. Today's icebreaker is, where is your character's favorite place to go on vacation?
Hi, I'm Kyle. I play Timothy Sticks, a criminal in this universe.
Alleged.
Criminal. And my favorite vacation spot would be anywhere that doesn't have extradition. Because I've been in a yard for a long time, and I'm not going back to hold those flowers. Because I'm a gnome.
What up? It's your boy Marcel Hardy playing Richard Cox, a human consultant turned halfling bard who wholly believes it's better to be lucky than to be good, but it's best to be both. And Richard's favorite vacation spot is Lake Tahoe, because it's the perfect place. It's got summer things and it's got winter things. You go in the summer, awesome canoeing, kayaking, and then you go in the winter, skiing and snowboarding.
Hi, I'm Annalyn Hardy. I play Taylor Jacobs, a marketing coordinator at Marketing Solutions Plus turned accidental criminal.
Criminal Solutions Plus.
Oh, no.
We do the crimes, you do the times.
Because you did the crime. Sorry.
So her favorite vacation spot is going into the office on a Saturday when no one's there. So quiet, she can get so much done.
My name is Katie, and I play Crystal, a drow druid and the owner of her very own MLM and soon-to-be cult, because that is her intellectual property. And her favorite vacation, anywhere that has good Instagram photos. So it just has to be aesthetically pleasing.
Oh, so Colorado Springs.
Yeah, and like Ibiza, like Burning Man, like all of the ones that celebrities go to, where she could also potentially rub up against people that might market her product as well.
Yeah, Crystal's definitely spent some time at Burning Man.
Yes. Hey, I'm Margie. I play Amy Ann, basic B rough and tumble human fighter with a freshly minted dentistry degree. Her favorite place to vacation is going to be on her couch. Staycations. She's all about it.
Oh my God. Hi, I'm Tyler. I play Bentley, the IT guy turned paladin, and his favorite place of vacation is not as depressing as the rest of you. He likes to go to
Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
Have you been?
He likes to go somewhere cold with a hot tub.
Love.
Like
They
Tahoe.
Were you not listening?
Hang out with Richard.
I'm waiting
In the
for
hot
the
tub.
one shot where Richard and Bentley go to Lake Tahoe.
Just like over, like, you know what, man, this is really nice. It's like a quiet plane flight out there, no words in the taxi or Uber, and then finally you get to your like Airbnb or hotel, and you just look over and you're like, oh, okay.
What about you, Alex?
Okay, the DM's favorite place to vacation would probably be anywhere that it gives everyone else that he's traveling with that it annoys them to be there, because that's what a DM's job is. All right, so when we last left off, Jimothy enacted this brilliant plan to steal one of the location beacons from Bluegull's cart, and that led to a whole cascade of events, which has now seen Crystal, Taylor, Jimmy arrested and placed in the jail. Now we open with Richard, Amy Ann, and Bentley trying to figure out how they're going to salvage this day.
So let's go to the corporate district.
So Amy Ann, she's walking behind them. She's got like her palms kind of in her eyes as she's walking behind them for a minute. I should have kept a hold on frickin' Jimmy. I should have just kept shaking him till that thing came out. I won't make that mistake again. Richard and Bentley, should we so we know how to get back to this place, right?
Not a clue.
Okay, so let's make sure we know how to get to the jail. And do you think we should talk to them
So
before
I'm going
we
to
leave?
interject here. As you guys have traveled through the city, you see that most of the main thoroughfares are well labeled, and there's lots of signs. So it would be easy enough to get back here.
Okay, so do you guys think we should make contact with our pals
Nope.
before we?
I think we should continue on the we don't know them route.
Okay.
Before we get arrested too.
Well, we have to. Well,
We have to help them.
We have to help
Yeah,
them.
we will help
and-
them by going to Bluegull and asking them to.
But what is
do
our
the thing.
argument to Bluegull going to be? Hey, these random people, or hey, these are our friends? I think it's going to be more compelling if it's
It's definitely,
the latter.
we definitely have to get our story straight and work
Yeah.
together. So their property got returned. So I think if we can ask for forgiveness out of ignorance,
Okay.
maybe I don't know what the thing is here, but maybe we can do some sort of restitution of damages done.
Maybe they just have to sign a contract to work for them for a little while. That's the thing, right?
This is a weird backwards time travel kind of place. That
Yeah.
sounds right.
Yeah. Okay, so what's our story going to be? Hey, we're sorry. How can we get this cleared up?
Yeah.
Essentially, we're willing to make some
No.
reparation.
If you apologize, that shows that there's guilt.
Well,
They're the guilty ones that should apologize.
we're apologizing on their behalf.
Yeah, on their behalf. That's yes, Richard. Or what is the other alternative?
You can always just leave them in jail.
I don't think that's an option, Bentley. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this
We
weird,
gotta figure out a way to get back home. This is not Atlanta.
this weird dream state that we're in is tied to us all together.
Yeah.
So I think in order for us to go home, we all have to be there.
I mean, maybe.
Let's assume for now, presume.
We're
that we
making a
all
lot
need
of
to be together.
assumptions.
That's why
and
I
I
said
really don't want to
presume.
go to jail myself
Well, don't make any crimes.
for coworkers. Happy to try and bail them out, but I don't
Yeah,
want,
or we
don't
can
want my
figure
own
that out. We
record.
can ask them what the bail system is, and maybe we can just do that.
So should we do that before we leave for?
No, we should ask
No,
the
we should
Bluegull
totally
people.
go to Bluegull.
We should
Okay,
ask
okay.
the Bluegull people
Okay.
how to bail them out.
Okay, so what else? That sounds like a plan, right? Who
Seems
wants to
simple
do the
enough.
talking? Probably not Amy Ann.
I can turn it on when I have to.
Okay.
I could attempt to add in, but that's probably the best you're going to get from me.
Yeah. So is there on our way, not making any, side whatevers, is there a way for us to pop in and get a cloak or something so that we don't look ridiculous?
I'm going to say 3 gold, and you guys could find some basic clothing that would make you blend in a little
Okay.
better.
Okay.
Is that 3 gold apiece?
That's total.
Total. So
Okay. Yeah,
we can
let's see.
split
Just
the
a
gold.
basic, like, brown
All right, so
cloak.
who's paying it?
Amy Ann will pay
Okay.
it.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
You guys owe me.
Sure.
Well, we all have these weird coins. Can't we just chip in one?
Yeah. All right. So now we don't look like we're completely out of place.
Right.
Smart.
Do they have to be brown? 'Cause I'd rather have a gray cloak.
They've got different
It can
colors
be whatever
here.
color you
so-
want it to be.
Cool. Thank you.
Tyler's like, don't put me in a cloak box.
I was like, this sounds like a reference to something. I don't know what it is.
It's always the cool guy in the video games that has like the dark colored cloak.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Let's go. What do you think? We need to make any other stops? At some point, we need to get a place to stay, I guess.
I think that can come after.
All right.
Yeah, most places don't have check-in until after 4 o'clock. So
That's a good point. That's a good
I don't know what
point,
time
Richard.
it is, but
That's good consultant knowledge to have. That's really...
I wonder if there's a clock anywhere in this city.
you have a clock tower.
As you're walking along, you see a clock tower in the government sector, and it's not like really big. And you see a sign that says like the nickname of the clock tower is Little John.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, because he wears a clock, right? No,
No.
that's a different guy. Sorry.
I'm assuming it's instead of Big Ben, it's Little
that was
John.
my thought as well.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a joke
okay.
on Big Ben.
Wow.
It was like Little John.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. You know, when people tell you that it's good,
You know
after
that it
they didn't
wasn't,
laugh,
yeah.
it's perfect. That means that's way better than if they just laugh and get on with it. Anyways, so you guys make it through the government sector unscathed. You make it to the bulwark. So that's the gate to enter the corporate sector. And like before, you noticed all the guards are like where normally they're facing outward from the gate. These are facing towards the gate. And as you approach, one of the guards comes up and he says, "Oh, hold on a second. Where are you off to?"
We're headed to Blue Goal. We have an appointment with a correspondent there.
You've read you understand the terms of service.
The
I
what
think
now?
Whoa. Would you have that
skimmed
printed
that.
out? Let's see it.
He hands you like this big stack of papers. You read the first line. It's like the city of Lavron assumes no liability to any damages you incur in the corporate
Bentley
sector.
is just going to channel his inner average user and just sign it without reading.
Richard is going to do a similar thing where he flips through it to pretend like he read it and then also sign it.
Are you saying I can't go in if I don't sign it?
basically.
She's going to just draw an X as her signature.
Well, there's illiterate people in this world, so that makes sense. And they open up the gate, and you guys see like a cart on fire, and there's like some people rolling in the street fighting. So you see like over the wall into this area, you see all these really tall buildings that look nice from about the 5th floor up. From the 5th floor down, it looks like a war zone.
Interesting.
And he says, "Good luck."
Thanks, man.
Can we just walk back out if we need to?
Oh yeah,
Okay, cool.
you
Thanks.
can leave at any time.
Awesome. I was just making sure you weren't gonna like try
It's
and keep
at
us in here.
will. Your presence in the corporate sector is at will.
There's a guy named Will in the corner.
Don't at
That
me.
was bad. So don't
All right.
laugh.
Do we see a building that looks like it might?
Yeah, we're looking for
Oh, yeah,
multicolored
you
letters.
you guys see all kinds of companies I'm not going to name right now, but you definitely see the Bluegill sign. It's pretty prominent.
Oh, Amanda Lynn was, she was right. It would be pretty easy to find it.
And you see a familiar face in a cart out in front of it. You see Amanda Lynn.
Oh, hey, Amanda.
She turns, and she's like, "Haven't you guys done enough today?"
Yes, and that's why we came here, to apologize on their behalf.
I would like to state that I wasn't involved in that, so
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to apologize. But I am here with them who want to apologize.
Yeah, on behalf of.
She's like, "Well, that apology doesn't get me unwritten up.
You got written up.
I was written up because on my watch, company intellectual property was allowed to be stolen."
What does being written up entail in this world?
She says, "If I get written up 3 times, I get fired."
How many times have you been written up?
She said, "Well, this is the first time. I was a great employee until today. Now I've moved down to B tier."
Well, there are tears.
Yes.
Is there any way that we can help with that? Like I said, we're apologizing on their behalf. The thing was ultimately recovered, like, pretty quickly from what I gather.
You could try to talk to CO.
Who?
CO. He runs the company.
Is that like his actual name?
That's what everyone calls him.
Are there like other COs or just the one?
Well, there's only one CO of Bluegill.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you think that that would help, I think we can if you can arrange that, we'd be happy to. And then we have another question, real quick. They were arrested, the other part of the people that were with us. What is the bail system?
It's going to be difficult to say. This is a civil matter, not a criminal matter, which is way worse. I believe because of the type of property this is and because of the protections in place for these kind of devices, you're looking at 20,000 gold of a kind each.
Cool. Is there any way that we could convince you all to perhaps drop the charges?
She's like, I can't do anything about it. The only person who can do anything about it is CO, and that's only if he's willing to talk to you.
All right, so that sounds like our next move, Amanda. We really appreciate your kindness in talking to us. We know you don't have to do that.
She's like, well, I mean, you say that, but technically, per my employment contract with Belugal, I am actually obligated to talk to anyone who speaks to me.
That sounds very exhausting.
It can be, yes.
Have you considered trying to get out of the... move over to the government sector for employment?
It's really hard to get into, and the hiring process takes forever.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for your help. Good luck with your music and driving. I hope it goes well.
Wait, Bentley, you're going too quickly. We haven't even gotten...
Well, we just got to go find CO.
I know things are a little bit different in the IT department, but one does not just go and see the CEO.
Bentley's like, what are you talking about? I talk to the CEO all the time. Do you not normally have to reset passwords for them?
That's a good point. Actually, we'll follow that. We're following that lead.
Remember, guys, honesty is the best policy. Just gonna throw that out there.
She says, I'll at least take you to the front desk and see if I can help.
Perfect. That's all that we ask.
You see as she hops down from her cart, she kind of glances over at, there's a bucket next to her seat. It says tips. And she doesn't say anything. She just glances at it and starts to walk inside.
Bentley looks into the bucket. Is there anything in there?
There's 5 copper and a silver.
Bentley puts 10 gold in there, but tries to do it where she doesn't see.
Okay. That'll be some good karma. She escorts you guys in and goes to the front desk and explains who you guys are. The receptionist just goes, you want me to call CO and see?
Do we hear them talking back and forth?
Yeah, you can hear them kind of whispering back and forth. You don't catch everything.
Do they seem to have a good rapport? Does it look like the receptionist?
They have a good rapport.
Okay.
She leans over and the receptionist picks up a rock. It looks like just a normal stone. And she holds it up to her face and she says something and then she holds it to her ear.
That's weird.
And as she does, you see it's kind of crystalline in structure. If you're really paying close attention to it, you see it kind of vibrates a little bit. And then she puts it back down.
Okay.
She looks very confused and puzzled at Amanda Lynn. And Amanda Lynn smiles and walks over to you guys and says, well, apparently he was expecting you.
Bentley works. That doesn't really surprise me. He starts looking around for cameras or something.
You don't see anything that you think would be a camera.
Bentley's like, wait, you still have your cell phone. That explains it.
NSA. So you guys make it up there, and you end up on a very sketchy elevator.
Is it like a wooden elevator?
Yeah.
Is there someone hand?
You don't see anybody doing that.
Gotcha.
You feel like the motion is not very consistent, so it would not surprise you if there was some kind of a living thing that was actually pulling the rope.
Gotcha.
And you make it up towards the top of the building, and the door opens, and you see a hallway, and at the end of the hallway, you see a door with the letters C, E, and O written on it. And as you approach it, off to the side, there's a receptionist person. It's a little gnome man, and he says, appointment. Do you have an appointment?
He's expecting us.
Apparently, yeah.
And who is us?
We give our real names.
Yeah.
He looks, and he says, oh, yes, the Friends of the Thieves.
Friends is a very strong word.
Doesn't even argue about the thief part. Right? And he says, yes, he will see you now.
All right, thank you.
So you go through the door and you find this very like almost looks like an Apple store. Like it is white as can be everywhere. There's a giant marble desk. There's this golden nameplate. And you notice the desk is a little larger than normal. And you see this golden nameplate that says C, E, and O on it. You see what appears to be a large tiefling that I actually wrote down was devilishly good looking. And he's kicked back holding one of these crystals to his head, and you hear him saying something to it, and he says, "Oh, hold on, Marius, I've got to go. I got my 2:45 appointment is here. Talk to you later." And he hangs up the crystal.
That's pretty cool.
You point to me on the crystal where the battery is.
It's magic.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, yes, you. The strange travelers.
I suppose that's one way to put it.
What can I do for you?
We are here because we would like to... Two things, actually. One, see if we can come to some sort of solution, some sort of restitution, apology on behalf of the people that we strangely are traveling with. And then two, we'd also like to help out Miss Amanda Lynn in any way if we can. She's a victim in this as well. She's just not a perpetrator.
Yeah, and you see as he holds up his hand and a file folder appears. And he starts flipping through it, and he says, "Yeah, she's been a really good employee for us. I really hate that they had to write her up. We might be able to come to some kind of deal and fix that." And he closes it, and it poofs away. He says, "Where are my manners?" And he holds his hand out. He says, "Matt Damon, nice to meet you."
God dang it.
My God.
Oh no. Get it? A demon? Matt Damon?
So Mr. Damon, nice to meet you.
Just call me Matt.
Matt, nice to meet you.
No,
yeah.
it's Matt.
Matt?
Yes, M-A'-A-T.
I see. Oh, interesting. Okay. You're the first CEO I've met.
That's good.
Okay.
That's definitely the same here.
So that Billy's just like, it's
Are you
really kind of weird to me.
Are you intimidated by?
It's rude of you to say
me
that
being
Crystal
a
wasn't your first
CEO?
CEO that you met.
Say again. I'm sorry.
Does me being a CEO and you having not met a CEO before intimidate you?
I don't know. It's just no. I guess not intimidation. Just a new experience.
Is this uncomfortable for you?
I don't think so.
And you see as he slowly you see as his form kind of changes a little bit and he looks more human. And he's like, "Is this better?"
I mean, you were fine before. Be true to yourself.
He goes back.
You just watch someone's body change. You're like, whatever makes you comfortable.
This is the weirdest dream.
He says, "All right, so here's the deal. Your friends stole something from me, and it was recovered. But, I got to do something. Because once you let intellectual property thefts go, then the next person's going to do it, and they're going to think they can get away with it, and it's a snowball effect. The next thing you know, you're losing your trademarks and your patents, and I can't have that.
No, of course not.
That's
Absolutely.
a fate worse than death." He says, "So I tell you what," he says, "we can make this go away, but there's a few things I need done. And I've been kind of looking for someone or someones to help with. I've got this subcontractor of mine, Beckett and Company. They're working on a little project of ours, and I think that they are trying to organize a little hostile takeover. So I need some information. See, we're working on this new thing. It's actually a place. Are you familiar with Bluegill Services, like how we operate, like what we do?"
We are not from here, and we have no idea what anything is right now.
He points at a map of Lavron up on the wall, and you see lots of little orange dots around it. He says, "You see those orange dots? Each one of those is a Bluegill terminal. The terminal is a wizard who stands there, and he advertises our services. And, people give us money to find information, to find places, to send messages. whatever. We have this whole network of wizards that are transmitting all this information back and forth to our headquarters here. But see, we're limited. We're limited by the scope of how far we can broadcast through the crystal on the roof of our building. There's a mountain nearby, and we're building this thing called the Cloud.
Interesting.
And it will allow us to transmit all across Travaria and even into some of the nearby other provinces and allow us to expand our reach. I think that someone is trying to organize a hostile takeover of our subcontractor who's helping us build this. So I need someone to go to, there's a little tavern on the far end of the corporate sector called the Fountainhead. And I need someone to go down there and figure out who it is that's trying to orchestrate this. I have it in my mind who it is, but I need to be sure. And since you lot aren't from around here, I think you are just the ones to find out.
And so what you're saying is you're willing to drop the charges on our acquaintances.
Oh, of course.
And in return for that, we help you get some information.
And if the information is good enough, I could even sweeten the deal. You see as he waves his hand, a chest that was invisible turns visible, and he opens it up, and it's full of silver and gold pieces. He's like, let's just say that it has been a very good year for Bluegill.
Bonuses, got it.
So Richard was like, can we discuss the terms amongst ourselves real quick?
Yeah, certainly. I believe in a very fair and honest deal. And he snaps his fingers, and this bubble kind of appears around his desk, and you can't hear anything. He's like looking like he's talking to you. You can't hear anything he's saying.
Can we tell if he's just like mouthing words or if he's like actually talking?
You could do an insight check on that.
I would also like to do an insight check to
Yeah,
see
go ahead.
if I think that he'll hear us if we talk. That's a 7.
I rolled a 4.
Should Amiana as well?
No, it's too late for that.
Okay.
So both of you are very certain that he's, like, you can't hear him and he can't hear you.
Okay.
All right, seems like we're good. I think we just take the deal. I don't think we can ask for much more.
I think we should try to secure our friends first.
No,
And,
yeah,
like, have
100%.
him come out and
Yeah, we need the friends to
do the
thing
mission,
that he needs us.
yeah.
But what I was going to say is we don't want to be here. We don't need this money. We need to find out how to get home.
That's a good point. Maybe we should
Yeah,
bring
but
that to him.
you said we needed our friends to get home, so we should probably just take the deal, get them home, take any bonuses he offers us, and then go from there.
Well, I'm saying instead of that bonus,
It's an order of operations.
I understand what you're saying, Bentley, but I'm saying instead of taking the bonus, which does us no good because we're trying to get out of here, instead of that bonus, we get a bonus of he helps us either find the
home.
person that can help us figure out how to get home or wake up from this terrible dream or whatever's going on here.
Yeah, I agree with you, Richard. I think that's reasonable. We could at least float it to him and see what he says. And if he doesn't, we can take the...
I don't know. We
Take
could
the
also
gold.
use the money to find a place to stay while we talk to the
That's true,
academy
too.
people, who we were told would be able to help us.
True. Never take the first offer. Richard is going to put on his consulting hat.
All right, are you signaling to Matt Damon?
Yes.
Okay,
Sitting
so he snaps his fingers and the sphere disappears. And he says, okay, so here's what I'm thinking. He's like, I got this employment contract written up. This is going to be short-term employment of 1 month with early termination available for accomplishing all of these objectives. And he lists out all the things he talked about the hostile takeover and finding the information. He says, in return, I will immediately send paperwork down and have my attorney go get your friends free from the jail. I'll provide you with 800 gold up front with another 500 upon good information. And I will provide you with this letter, which will get you into the Athenaeum to find out what you need to learn to go home.
Okay.
Quick question. Does it block us from doing other work as well? Or are we
No,
locked
consider
in?
yourself freelancers.
Okay.
I like the way you think, Bentley.
Do we have a deal?
Let's take just a second, a little bit more. We really appreciate the offer, and we're very excited for this opportunity, but we need to do a little bit of consultation on making sure that the terms are right for us and our families.
Do you guys have families?
He just kind of
Yes,
looks at
Bentley.
you. And he said, I understand. He
Oh,
says,
I do-
and he picks up his crystal. He says, "Hey, I need a list out of the stock price of all of the major companies in the corporate sector, and brought up here immediately." He puts it down. He says, "So here's the deal. My offer was based on the information I had at hand. My assistant will be bringing me up the current market price of all the corporations in the corporate sector, at which point I'll have to reevaluate our deal.
That sounds fair.
Or you can sign now."
Yeah, well, I mean, you said business is good, and you seem like a man of your word. So there should be no problem on our end if the price goes up.
Yeah, not a problem. He just kind of grins at you.
Richard is like, all right, well, if you, how long do you think it'll take?
You hear a ding, ding, and you look and you notice that the elevator has like little lights that are popping up. But there's like a little homunculus above it, and every time a light comes on, he hits a bell. He says, about 30 seconds.
So how lucky do you feel?
I feel extremely lucky.
So what I'm going to ask you, Richard, is high or low?
We go high, baby.
So comes up, assistant brings him papers. He looks at it. Interesting. He flips through another one. That's not great. Looks at it, and he's like, "I'm going to need to reterm our contract. Most of the terms are the same, but you'll now be provided with 400 gold up front and 200 gold upon completion with good information."
All right, well, it's unfortunate that we could not come to agreeable terms on this deal. We do really hope that you take Miss Amanda Lynn's negative rating away completely separate from this venture, and we'll be on our way.
He said, "Before you leave, Richard, I would like to remind you that intellectual property theft is one of the highest crimes in the city, and that should your friends not be able to pay, since you've now associated yourself officially in an official capacity with them, you will be obligated to assume their debt."
That doesn't sound right.
It's the law. Sorry.
I thought we should have taken it to begin with. You're the one that was like, "Oh, never take a deal with first offer."
That's right. You never take the first offer, and I stand by it.
Yeah, that's true. Good advice. So Amy is kind of going to look at Richard, I guess look down at Richard and be like,
Richard's like, he gives her like a trust me.
okay.
You see as he picks up his crystal and he says, "Yes, Minx, could you come escort our guests out of the building, please?"
Amy is sweating bullets.
So we cut back to the jail. The guards come to the door and open it and say, your lawyer's here."
Great.
Is this a court-appointed lawyer or one that someone's paying for? Because I know for a fact that we should be getting the best money can buy.
Well, seeing as how none of you offered your lawyer's contact information, we assumed you didn't have money, and we got
I told you
the
I was
public
Crystal
defender.
from the Church of Clarity.
and I'm Bahamut.
Oh my God!
He says, "Come this way, please. We'll take you for your legal counsel."
Taylor thinks that we need to make a good impression
Fine.
on this lawyer.
All right,
She's, like,
so
looking
he
at her
escorts
nails.
you down the hallway to the legal counsel room and lets you in. And as he opens the door, you see a person who appears to be half man, half bird. And he stands up and he says, "Harvey Arakakra, attorney at law. Pleasure to meet you all."
Well, hello there, Harvey. Oh, God.
Sorry about that. It's a nervous tick. He says, "I'm your public defender. I hope you know that even though I'm being paid like bare minimum for this, that I take your defense very seriously. And because of that, I have worked hard with the prosecutor to come up with a plea bargain that I think is amicable for everyone."
Love to hear it. Let's get into
Okay,
it.
so your agreement is that you will enter into an employment contract with Bluegill.
Why?
Because if you are a post-dated employee, then you were not stealing intellectual property. You were just merely mishandling it.
So what you're saying is we took something from them and now they want to hire us?
They seemed to like your spunkiness and resourcefulness.
Guys, I think this is a trap. It feels like a trap. No one hires a thief on purpose.
I mean, we are pretty cool, but like, I mean, I can understand why they would want to hire me, but I just don't really understand why they want to hire the other, like.
We're highly talented, absolutely. But this feels sketchy.
Well, listen, guys, I got to be real with you. I've been practicing law for 8 months, and in those 8 months, I have seen 3 intellectual property theft cases tried. One of those people was imprisoned for life, and the other 2 were ordered to pay massive amounts of money back to the corporations that they stole this intellectual property from. They do not play around with this. And looking at the evidence, this is kind of hard to get around. He's like, I got to be real with you as your lawyer. I mean, we can't even argue that it was like a crime of like the spur of the moment, because one of you 3 spent multiple hours creating a replacement so that it wouldn't be noticed. In fact, the prosecution is actually pushing to have the charges changed from theft of intellectual property to heist of intellectual property.
Well, that does sound cooler.
Which implies premeditation, which makes it a worse crime.
Okay.
How long is this employment contract?
Yeah, that's my question.
The employment contract appears to be for 3 months with options for early termination upon completion of certain performance goals. Payment, according to this contract, is repayment due to the damages suffered from the theft of intellectual property and the damage to the corporate entity in the form of stock price.
Are there stock options?
No.
Can we, 3 months?
Well, 3 months with option for early termination.
How
Why?
early?
And what is the option for early termination?
So the option on early termination, it has performance goals here. So one of them is acquiring information about the company organizing a hostile takeover of Bluegle's subcontractor Beckett & Co. that is doing work on their product only known as the Cloud. Another one is acquisition of a person with web developer skills. And then the last one here is working with archaeologists at the Athenaeum on transdimensional travel.
Okay,
Huh.
well,
Okay, so
checking
she's
some
like,
boxes.
can you give us a second?
I'm your attorney.
It's
what
fine.
do you mean by give you a second?
Well, just because you're our attorney, it doesn't mean that you should be privy to all of our private thoughts.
That's exactly what that means. I'm the one who's supposed to be helping you as best I can.
I
And we
don't know
do
if there's a
appreciate that.
such thing in this country as attorney-client privilege. You could totally just take what we're saying and go right back to the people and just end
I'll
up.
have you know that attorney-client privilege is one of the highest rights that is held sacred between persons in this world. The only thing that's held higher is the value of a contract.
Thank you, Harvey.
See, I don't like that.
I'm gonna
Because-
I'm gonna do a non-traditional move here and take this deal.
But if you take it, do we have to take it?
It says here that all parties involved have to sign for this deal to be binding. It says here you will be provided a stipend of 100 gold per month each, but it has here that 75 of which will be deducted for, it says, quote, Bluegle overhead fees.
This isn't even a fake world. This is just real.
Yeah. I like it.
Well, can you see about if we're going to be stuck here and working for 3 months? Can we get some government provided housing, somewhere to stay?
What's government provided housing?
Can I get some corporate provided housing?
That you'd have to take that up with Bluegle. They do operate bunkhouses, but they're not a very pleasant place.
Could we speak to Bluegle about the contract?
You can speak to their legal representation with me present, but that's about
I
it.
understand. Okay.
Would you like me to call in their legal representative?
I mean, at this point, it's either prison or this.
Yeah, you're
Take
right. We
the
have no
deal.
power. Let's
Take
just.
the deal.
All right.
Take the deal.
All right. Would it be possible to increase the stipend of the TNCS?
Hold on a second. I'll be right back. And you hear
fly
us-
away.
He
It's just
he walks out.
Can Taylor voluntarily shit?
I don't know. Can she make a Constitution check?
No, that's even worse.
She got an 11.
All right. Yeah. You poop like right in the floor.
Oh.
Oh God. Oh no! Don't. Nobody look.
I'm just imagining she's like using her back feet to like push it into the corner.
That is 100% what's happening.
Anyways, you hear him out in the hallway, and you hear this other guy, let me talk to him. All right, just it'll be okay. This is not official. And he comes in the door. He goes, Saul Goodelf, nice to meet you. So I'm the legal representation from Bluegill Industries. We brought this deal. We feel like it's a fair deal. Is it? What do we got to disagree on here? It's a good deal.
But we need enough money to survive on if you're sending us places.
Hey,
Are you gonna pay for our
Whoa,
travel?
I want to be very clear. No one said anything about sending you anywhere.
Yeah, but
Crystal is used to a certain type of lifestyle,
Yeah.
and she needs to be compensated.
Well,
with the
I
rope.
can promise you that certain type of lifestyle is not going to be compensated very well in prison.
But like, how are we supposed to survive and do the job you're asking for us when 75% of the things you're paying us to be able to go and do the job you're asking us to do is taken from us?
He looks at it. Maybe that's something that should have been thought of before you guys heisted our intellectual property. I want to be very clear. That is you thought theft of intellectual property was serious. Heisting of intellectual property is a whole other thing. And the problem is, the biggest thing is you did it outside the corporate sector. You did this in the corporate sector, it would have been no big deal. But you were in the public realm when this happened, and that's a big problem. There's got to be rules, or we're no better than the animals. No offense. As he looks at like the poop in the corner.
Taylor's face is like beet red. Like,
I tell you what. Listen, I'm a good guy. I'm a charitable guy. What do you think about? Okay. We could increase it to the after fees and everything to 40 gold. Does that seem fair to everybody? I mean, that's a little
Increase
better,
what
right?
our take home
Yes,
to 40.
40 each per month for the duration of the contract.
Why do you need us so bad?
Listen. We got to do something. Intellectual property theft is a very serious crime.
why would you want to hire criminals though?
Well,
alleged
criminals.
It's a little late for that. And he points at like a little crystal that's on his lapel. He says, "Listen, sometimes there's things you need done, and you need people with a certain skill set to do them. Now, you guys were a mess today, but I feel like it's a little off the cuff. You didn't have time to plan properly." He says, "I just feel like you guys, this is like a diamond in the rough. And, people with your kind of skill set, I have clients who could use people like that from time to time for various things."
Okay, well, since you guys are very concerned about intellectual property, I'm also concerned about intellectual property theft. And I currently have a company that has been stolen from me. And since you guys are very, very concerned with your personal intellectual
He says
theft,
he snaps his fingers and a business card appears. And he says, "Call me."
cool. She takes it. She pockets
But you can't
it.
call me from prison. So do we have a deal?
Fine. Whatever.
Yes,
All right.
I'd say we've got a deal.
Crystal pauses, looks at her fingernails.
He does like a magic trick and a pen appears.
Oh, love that.
And he's like, "Huh? We got a deal?" And he's like, "Oh, wait, there's 3 of you." And he pulls out 2 more and he goes, "I always travel,
Aren't you clever?
with friends."
Okay, fine. Crystal takes the pen, This isn't like a sign in blood kind of a thing, is it?
No.
Okay,
God,
thank
we're
God.
not savages. Come on now.
Well, I'm new. So she takes it and she just signs her name. But
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Hey, Harvey, can you come back in here really quick so we can do this on the up and up? And Harvey comes back in, and he kind of just explains what happened. He goes, Harvey's like, that's a good deal. Like,
All right. So Crystal takes it and she signs her name, but it's not her original signature. It's something close to it.
okay.
It doesn't change
Interesting.
anything. But that's just what
Interesting.
she's like not happy about this.
Taylor Jacobs just
She likes working for herself.
signs it off quickly, passes along.
I also sign it, but not in cursive, just in normal block letters.
And Harvey pulls out a little coin satchel, and he says, so there's 120 gold in here.
Taylor's gonna
First
take
month's
that.
payment. There's instructions as well in there about who to report to. Welcome to Bluegill.
You know what that means? It means he knew he was going to up it to 40 the whole time. Like he had the pouch already made up.
Right.
He knows never take the first deal.
Side note,
Yeah.
I think it's funny.
All right, and that is
In this
where we are
situation.
going to end today. We'll see you next time.
Gratitude today keeps the haters away, and that's why we want to thank you for listening to Overworked and Underplayed. You just heard Alex Capps as our DM, Anna Lynn Hardy as Taylor Jacobs, Katie as Crystal, Marjorie as Dr. Amy Ann Amanda, Marcel Hardy as Richard Cox, Tyler as Bentley, and Kyle as Jimmy Sticks. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll circle back in 2 weeks on December 15th for the next episode. And I know 2 weeks might seem like a long time, but while you wait, you can still contribute to making this podcast successful. Whether it's by rating us, leaving a review, or following us on social, every bit helps to get the word out. You can find us everywhere at OwnUpPod, that's OWNUPPOD, subreddit r/OwnUp.
A D&D podcast for young professionals by young professionals.
So is that Fitbit?
Do what?
I heard
I'm so
Fitbit.
upset.
I did too.
I'm so confused right now.
It's one of those things that doesn't need an acronym.